Hey everyone, it's like AI is everywhere, right? Composing music, writing code, even like planning vacations. But
It's definitely the hot topic right now.
it makes you wonder though, like all that brain power, even if it's artificial, got to suck down some serious juice, right?
Mm.
We're talking about energy here.
It's a huge factor that often gets overlooked. We're
Yeah.
talking about a scale of energy consumption that could soon rival entire cities.
Yeah, no kidding. Which is why we're diving into this article from Paper Geek, a French tech site. They're reporting on this, well, kind of wild move by Google. Get this, they're going nuclear.
And not just dipping their toes in the water either. We're talking about Google partnering with a company called Kairos Power to build 7 new nuclear reactors.
Pulled up 7, like full-on Chernobyl style.
Not exactly. That's where it gets interesting. These are smaller, more cost-effective reactors compared to the massive plants we're used to.
Mini nukes for AI. That's different.
It's a whole new approach. The idea is to make nuclear power more accessible, more scalable.
So instead of these giant cooling towers and stuff, it's more plug and play.
Essentially, yes. Imagine reactors being built in a factory and then shipped to wherever they're needed. This modular design is what Google is hoping will make nuclear power more feasible for their AI ambitions.
Okay, so more like Legos than, building a pyramid. But how does this tie into powering AI specifically?
Well, the article quotes Michael Terrell, Google's head of energy, and he's saying this is about making sure everyone has access to advanced tech.
Which we know means AI, right?
Exactly. But let's be real, if your AI needs its own mini nuclear reactor, we're talking about some seriously power-hungry tech.
No kidding. It's like, hey, want to see this cool new AI trick? Just hope it doesn't cause a blackout. And it's not just Google either, is it?
Not by a long shot. This trend extends beyond just Google. Microsoft, for example, they're securing their own nuclear power plant, specifically for AI development.
Wow, they're really going all in, huh?
It seems so. And then you have Elon Musk, who's always striving to build the most powerful AI imaginable. He just went and bought this massive AI cluster, which, you guessed it, needs a ridiculous amount of energy to run.
Wait, Elon bought another company. Was it on sale?
Well, that's a different deep dive. The point is, these tech giants, they're all scrambling for power, which goes to show just how energy-intensive AI is going to be.
And hold on, Amazon too. They're in on this.
Oh yeah, they're buying a nuclear-powered data center from Talon Energy. And you know when Amazon jumps on board?
Things are getting serious.
Exactly. This isn't just about keeping the servers humming. It's about a whole new energy infrastructure to support the future of AI.
So we've got all these brilliant minds racing towards this AI-powered future, but, forgot to check if the lights are going to stay on.
It's a classic case of build it first, figure out the power source later, I guess.
And it's not like we can just plug these things into the wall. We're talking about nuclear reactors here. Is that really the best we can do?
Well, it's definitely a controversial solution, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Proponents argue that in terms of sheer energy output, nuclear is incredibly efficient. Plus, unlike fossil fuels, it doesn't directly pump greenhouse gases into the atmosphere.
So good for fighting climate change, theoretically. But haven't we learned our lesson about nuclear meltdowns?
That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it?
Mhm.
The events at Chernobyl and Fukushima, however rare statistically, left an undeniable mark on the public psyche. Even if these new mini-reactors are designed with safety as a top priority, the potential consequences of a mishap are, well,
Kind of terrifying.
to say the least. And then there's the issue of radioactive waste, which, let's be honest, we still haven't figured out how to deal with safely long-term.
So it's like, yeah, we solved one problem but created another.
In a nutshell, yes. And that's why there's such a strong push for renewable energy sources instead. Solar, wind, hydroelectric. These technologies harness energy from sources that are constantly replenishing themselves.
No risk of a meltdown with a solar panel.
Exactly. Advocates argue that instead of putting so much faith in nuclear power, with all its inherent risks, we should be investing in making renewable energy more efficient and cost-effective.
Because right now, let's be real, solar and wind power alone can't power a city, let alone an AI that's as smart as 1,000 cities.
That's the challenge. But there's also an argument to be made that with enough investment and innovation, renewables could eventually meet, even surpass, our energy needs.
So it's a gamble either way, huh? Nuclear has the power, but the risks are huge. Renewables are potentially safer and cleaner, but we haven't cracked the code on making them efficient enough.
And that's why this conversation is so important. It's not just an academic debate. These decisions about AI and energy, they're going to have very real consequences for our planet and for generations to come.
No pressure, though, right?
Oh, little pressure never hurt. But seriously, the fact that these tech giants are all placing their bets on different energy strategies shows how complex this issue really is.
So, like, who's got the right idea here? Is anyone even close?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's almost like they're each placing a bet on a different horse in this race to power the future. Take Microsoft, for example. Their move to secure that nuclear power plant, it definitely signals a certain confidence in nuclear energy as a long-term solution,
Yeah.
especially with those smaller, more efficient reactor designs we talked about.
Yeah. They're putting their money where their mouth is, that's for sure. But then you've got Elon Musk over there, always pushing the boundaries. And he's building this massive, energy-hungry AI cluster. But at the same time, he's all about renewable energy with Tesla and solar power and all that. So, like, where does he really stand on this?
It's a bit of a head scratcher, isn't it? It's almost like he's saying, yes, renewables are the future, but we need a bridge to get there. And maybe in his view, that bridge requires a whole lot of electricity, regardless of where it comes from, at least for the time being.
So hedging his bets, maybe. And then there's Amazon. Always got to see what they're up to. They're buying up a nuclear-powered data center, which, I mean, that's got to tell you something, right?
It definitely indicates a willingness on their part to at least explore the potential of nuclear energy for their data operations, which are, let's face it, already enormous and only going to get bigger.
It's wild, right? It's like everyone's looking at the same problem, but coming up with totally different answers.
It really highlights how complex this whole issue is.
Yeah.
We're talking about the very foundations of a new technological era, and the decisions being made right now will have ripple effects for, well, who knows how long.
It's kind of exciting, don't you think? Like, we're in uncharted territory here, trying to figure out how to power machines that might one day be smarter than we are.
It's certainly a fascinating time to be alive. And it underscores the importance of having conversations like this, of questioning assumptions and exploring all the options. Because the future of AI, and indeed the future of our planet, depend on the choices we make today.
Well said. It's been a mind-bending deep dive today, that's for sure. Lots to think about. So, until next time, keep those brains buzzing and those devices charged up. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the ever-evolving world of tech.